Complexities turn to ban.
I speak for the trees.
Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Axe.
Bounty hunter.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We're time for game number 2 here as Complexity takes on FDL. In game 1, FDL looked a little sloppy. Ben made a great showing from the stand-in, the coN actually, which might bode well here as we get into the draft for game number 2. But in the end, too many mistakes. Pizza had a really off game, and they were not able to take it. They only know one now in the best of 3.
Complexities turn to ban.
We saw what he can do with Bat. What can he do with Nature's Prophet, which is arguably more annoying.
And let's remember, this was second phase ban, so they decide to prioritize the hero, grab it early, as 2 offlaners again banned in phase 1 by Complexity. So, showing a lot of love here for the...
5 seconds remaining.
They do have a roamer though, Bounty Hunter very good versus Nature's Prophet, and Phoenix is pretty good versus Axe, although getting slight nerf on the Sunray cooldown, which was probably justified prior to when it got nerfed. I'm surprised it didn't get touched earlier. Everyone always complains about that spell.
You can tell something's about to get nerfed when there's like a critical mass of just players complaining on Twitter about it. And I'm pretty sure for like weeks my feed was just like LOL Phoenix, you know, I watch a game with Fog and he'd just be sitting there like constantly shitting on how broken it was. But, didn't get touched for a while.
I think I played a pub before Shanghai and I was Pudge and I took 2,500 damage from one Sunray.
One Sunray.
That's when I was like, this is broken.
Yeah.
2,500 damage. I was like, what?
And even at level 1 it was just so strong. Like you could just solo zone a melee carry out of the lane.
So 26 seconds from 20.
It's a good Phoenix game so far, as there are 2 heroes that really cannot right-click the egg very effectively. Do have decent lockdown for the Phoenix if they catch him, but...
Yep. A little squish.
Looking like a good Phoenix game so far, anyway. Complexity will ban out that Timber Saw. I hear they can deal very well with heavy melee strats, and now remove the puck, so wanting to kind of limit the team fight options to go with this egg.
Complexity run Axe in all sorts of different situations. They run a jungle, they can run a safe lane. I'm pretty sure they could do off lane. So you don't really know what lane you're dealing with when you deal with Axe, which is kind of half the battle. Or else, you know, if you're against a safe lane, you can just do, I don't know, Quap or something. I think handles him pretty well. Or maybe Darkseer. Safe lane, you want a range carry, but your options are very limited at this point because you have to kind of prepare for it in all the lanes. I guess they already have an NP, so NP's like okay at dealing with them. Not wonderful.
So FDL gonna remove this 4th ban. I mean, overall, looking at the way FDL drafts some plays, do you still expect more of like a mid-game type of approach from them, or do you see any reason to change it up?
I think what they lacked a lot last game was early game, because they needed the Radiance, they needed DK with an item, which was Armlet, which generally gotten around 12, I would say, versus a Quap matchup, and then they needed the Batrider Blink. So all those are coming post 10 minutes, and then the Witch Doctor was level 1 for like 5 minutes. So it was a little bit of their supports being underleveled, and a lot of it was their cores just needing an item. So I think they need more early game, and I think that's where the NP comes in, because NP, you can cause havoc level 1, level 2, level 3, and like all of these are like really problematic situations for Complexity to deal with. Level 6 especially is a tough one. And Lena, another Complexity specialty.
Maybe worried about the potential for push a bit here, as they were Be light on the wave clear as well. Some good follow-up damage for that call. FDL banning out the Dragon Knight and the Death Prophet, so I mean I'm talking about Complexity being a bit worried about 5-man, but seems FDL are as well.
The Lina is also really good versus Phoenix because you mentioned they don't have any right click, but with Fiery Soul and super long range, it is a very good counter that most teams actually don't explore that much. Lion, tried and true support. I don't really think there's a situation where like, wow, Lion is not a good pick here. It's fine if you don't know what else you want to pick, and fine segue into...
Especially if you already have a support like Phoenix who doesn't offer that reliable lockdown or control.
Yeah.
Complexity have shown a penchant for picking more late game type carries as of late, I think, so gives you a little insurance in that regard too. And with the Bounty Hunter, your draft always goes later.
Reserve time.
Bounty Hunter seems like he might have a field day here though. Support Phoenix is notoriously weak early.
And very low base armor.
Very low base armor, just really want to use your dive to escape up Bounty Hunter that early. You might not even skill it that early. Then great at picking up an NP2. Lion also very weak to this amount of burst and roam. Like some team solutions for dealing with Bounty Hunter is just pick super tanky supports like Jakiro, Ogre, Jungle Axe, like these heroes that okay, yeah, there's the Bounty Hunter, like who cares? Yeah, Spirit Breaker, Treant Protector, like heroes that just don't care about a Bounty Hunter. But on the flip side, FDL have like really weak supports that are very vulnerable to Bounty Hunter.
Well, talk about pressure now. Complexity grabbing the Enchantress. I mean, is this any chance of a carry Enchantress, do you think, Ben, with the Bounty Hunter already grabbed as kind of that 4-position roaming support generally?
No, I think it's
still a support enchant as well.
I think the bigger question to me is what Lina and Axe are doing. Who's going to be a core? And they could potentially run Lina support, Axe safe lane, Enchantress off, and Bounty Hunter roam. And that would free up their mid laner. Who knows? They have last pick.
Yeah, like all these heroes can pretty much play multiple positions, aside from the Bounty Hunter, I guess. Oh boy, going back to it, but this time a hero that can apply pressure more easily in the laning stage with the NP for the off lane. Don't have the vehicles, really, though. You generally don't want to be swooping in with the Phoenix to start the fights.
They have a lot more ways to deal with them, though. Like, last game, they pretty much only had Chrono into whatever, but Chrono was, like, the main issue, and then Orchid later on. But this time, they have an Axe Call is really good versus Lifestealer. Enchantress Impetus can kill a Lifestealer very easily. Lina with her Ags.
Even the Trek. Just for the move speed to be annoying later on. Very
annoying for Lifestealer, but they're way worse at dealing with the actual ancient. So if they can prevent him from getting Radiance into level 11, like they did last game, until 24 minutes, which was a really poor timing from the Lifestealer, then they'll be in a good spot.
The Complexity, despite seeing that NP, are still gonna play it safe here, ban the Batrider, and with the puck already removed, delivery mechanisms are in short supply right now.
Oh yeah, Bat is actually really good versus their lineup though. I think all their heroes like struggle a lot for Spat.
They don't have a good lasso counter initiate. They've already picked their support, so could have been a really good back game. And it could have been a surprising pick with the normally an offlaner, but yeah, I think definitely that option to run a mid or even just the Nature's Prophet in an unusual lane perhaps.
Yeah, that hero ruins Enchantress and Lina too, because these heroes like need to be highly mobile in fights.
So Anti-Mage gets banned out by FDL.
You might just do Slark again then. I wanted to. Slark I think is
great against Lifestealer, attack speed later on to deal with the Phoenix Egg.
Yeah, it's just all around great, I would say. As far as FDL, CNC heroes, he likes TA a lot. TA is decent versus Lina, okay versus Bounty Hunter. Quap is a decent option because he is not vulnerable to Bounty Hunter. And if you don't have the puck, Quap is decent. Also just huge magic burst to deal with Enchantress, so she doesn't become an issue. Also a lot of magic damage to deal with Axe, so he is not that big of an issue. But vulnerable to Lina, and that mid lane is very crucial for Queen of Pain. They do have an NP to help out in case they overextend though, so I think it's okay. They also have a vehicle for Lifestealer. Makes sense.
So the team that wins this best of 3, of course, will go on to play either DC or Shazam, our second match coming up directly after this one. So we've got a Old doubleheader of NA Dota headed your way, guys, but, well, I say NA Dota, there's more and more Europeans creeping in, it seems, taking over, but Complexity now, speaking of the Europeans, gonna grab their last hero now.
Slark or Jug makes the most sense to me.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Wind Ranger.
Okay, so what, safe lane, X, support lane? Let's see who plays who.
Interesting game to grab the Wind Ranger. There's a lot of magic burst. Generally, we see her more against very physical damage heavy strats.
Swindle's on enchant, that's not a surprise. Z-Freak, I assume is
So
playing
it's
Bounty Hunter?
jungle axe, right?
Jungle X seems
Offlane Ench.
most likely.
It's gonna really be testing Z-Freak's ability to crit space here if they're gonna run that.
Yeah,
So it's Handskin Axe
that's
then?
gonna be like mega greedy if they do that. They don't have heroes to punish though, like
Or it could be support Lina and a really weird laning setup with like a safe lane axe.
oh yeah,
mid
safe
Wind
lane
Ranger.
X is pretty common. Lane X is I think pretty good for MP, so
They've also picked it as a reaction to the NP, so it is going to be the support Lina. So, okay. Not the super greedy setup that we were. Feels like that could really get punished. Yeah, we're underway here, guys. Game number 2. Thank you for bearing with us. I'm a little rusty, but getting back into the flow of it, and hopefully the teams will be as well. They looked a little rusty in game number 1, I have to say. Or at least not on their A game here. Limp gonna immediately TP down bottom, does begin starting off the safe lane. See Stan Kane dropping down an observer ward.
that's smart. This is a reaction to what happened last game, where the offlaner was able to sneak 2 wards in. So this
Good
was-
adjustments.
Yeah, but NP usually does not do that though, because of the treant.
Are they gonna set a trap here? Do have sentries on Stan Kane. Only 1 though. Pretty unlikely he's gonna drop it.
Z-Freak immediately runs to the left.
It's like, oh. Okay. So
He saw 4
he's
heroes.
gonna
though.
tuck over here, drop the hill ward. Yeah. Who? I'm trying to remember who else it was. Like I've
30
seems like
seconds
almost
to
every Radiant Bounty Hunter makes that exact move. Where they'll run like to the left of this hill, they'll drop that hill ward, and they'll start moving again.
It helps you keep track of all the supports. It's really important.
I feel like I've seen it like 8 to 10 Bounty Hunter games in a row, but I haven't seen anyone just like YOLO and try to just catch him with the sentry planted down prematurely. Such a big investment.
Pretty hard to do. Yeah. I mean, this ward is just
The
awesome
battle
though.
begins.
I guess the other thing is often like you want to make sure if the bounty comes to the rune to try and snipe it that you have a sentry or dust to kill him off. So in the end, Z-Freak will get to the top lane now. He is going to be scouted out by an observer ward. He's not running around invis that whole time, and it seems he's off lane for the time being. With Swindles actually going to start in the jungle, so it will not be the off lane Ench. Not what I expected after seeing him, because he has played it just as a standard offlaner. Was one of the big teams to do it, actually, Complexity. Already Z-Freak with his own sentry planted down, as Stan Kane will creep in. They're going to swoop through the trees. They even just popped the dust there right away, but looks like he didn't quite catch Z-Freak. The dust kind of exploded on top of him, but
That was a good move by both sides.
did not get him.
Z-Freak by hiding there and Franz trying to catch him out with a blind swoop into dust. I like that play a lot.
It had like the dust particles all over him, but out of range, I guess. Would have been a tough kill anyway. I don't think they actually saw him through the tree line, as he will now fade again. Got to be frustrating, DL. Up against an off-lane bounty, you really want to be finding this kill. He's already managed to grab level 2.
Free XP. They don't have any sentries, and
Even if they get the kill now, it's a big investment.
yeah, he can just eat the sentries. Too.
It's going to be 2 dusts at a minimum committed. 2 sentries. And that's assuming they kill him. So look at the other lanes now. Chessie playing mid as the Wind Ranger for the time being. CC on the Queen of Pain. So far, pretty even matchup. Either hero getting roamed on, surprisingly.
Swindles is a really odd build though. The Ring of Protection, first on Ench. If you turn it into Bassi and push a safe lane, I think it's a pretty good cup. Otherwise, most prefer boots. So you have like 370 move speed, 375.
Yeah, it is a gankable and pushable offlaner here in the NP.
He's wrapping around from behind.
Looks like that's exactly what Swindles wants to do. Is the coon going to be as wily this time around? They go for the Battle Hunger. Now the nuke coming out from the Lina. Good stun there. Combo comes out from Swindles. The call there to secure it. And the first blood will go the way of the Enchanters. Are the 800 gold pocketed even gonna play this chance? I think. Get the hell out of here. It's pushing time. Rotation there by Swindles.
A lot of this is due to the lane setup by Complexity, because they had they used 2 observer wards top, which is not actually very useful at all versus the bounty hunter, and they don't have an observer ward on the bottom to scout out a gank. Normally an enchantress would need a smoke to make that sort of gank, but with this sort of peculiar lane setup from FDL, they didn't expect this, and they weren't able to respond in time. So
Bisa tanking these tower shots. It looks like they really want to go for a dive on Z-Freak, who tries to cancel the salve there, kind of baiting him in. The dust comes out, and the Sunray surprise is debuted. Is there a TP? Can they finish the job? Z-Freak low, one last swipe. We'll get the kill, but it cost them the Phoenix. Melts to the tower with his 0 base armor, no rain of protection. Absolutely explodes.
no XP and very little gold though for bounty hunter.
Definitely still worth.
They use the dust. Tough. First blood definitely.
He also got a lot of XP because the lane was pushing for a while before they got the kill.
Yeah.
So,
Not a good situation for FDL. So many resources committed, and Lion is, for some reason, still super under level. This is a very similar situation to last game, where he is just struggling to find boots.
I mean, you mentioned mind games last game. I feel like there's been multiple levels of mind games this time around where looks like it could be an off-lane axe, then it's like, okay, it's the off-lane enchantress, and then it is Swindles even picking it up, so like, surely it is an off-lane ench, but then runs it in the jungle, they're running the off-lane bounty hunter instead. Complexity, I'm not sure how much of it was premeditated, how much was just what it looks like to us as outsiders, but there have definitely been some unexpected switcheroos, and we're only 4 minutes in. Leading 2-1 now, but despite all of that, the gold relatively even here, but the experience advantage is piling in. Already 1,000.
Bundles attempting to go for a kill on Franz, but near impossible with the Icarus dive up. I think he tried to stop it with like a net, but that's super improbable with the travel speed on that.
Are we gonna see Radiant's Lifestealer again? He does go for phase boots this time, so
Phase is usually phase Armlet.
Yeah.
I think Armlet's really good versus the axe and the ench. With
you still have the pure damage now though from the Helix, so I guess Armlet's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, still you got HP though, so you don't get cold. I think it's really important.
A lot of burst damage in general, complexity, the impetus, later on the Wind Ranger, and of course that Laguna Blade as well.
So I don't really know why Franz is standing over here. They don't have detection. Lion, too poor. Bisa.
This is
too selfish, but probably just
This is the support tax, man. You got the level 2 supports with no money for anything, dirt poor, and it's bounty hunter effect.
Yeah.
Which is a concern, I feel. You're up against not only the track, gonna come on way earlier than usual, but under-leveled, very squishy supports against a lot of burst damage. This could quickly turn into a feeding frenzy if DL aren't careful.
I think they should just carry one on NP and just TP in, dust him, kill tower, and then they have a nice influx of gold and can open up a little bit more space for the supports to do what they want. But right now, Frigate is just going crazy. You'll see so many teams, I think, just overcommit to sentries and sentries and dust and just have it in their inventory. So the bounty hunter is the one that's actually getting mind gamed. Dwindle's trying to be crafty with his tornado, but instead just feeds Bisa some creep.
Yeah, it does put the Rage, or rather the Infest on cooldown here. CC chased out. He just looks like he blinked in to grab the rune. He's going to pay for it with his life as the power shot will end up connecting. So, FDL giving up another kill as 3 heroes will end up rotating back to top. And at that very moment, we'll see Limp pick a Vanguard. Looks like he may just rotate into the jungle, give the lane to his support now. Handskin almost level 6, so very even XP and farm distribution here for Complexity with all 5 heroes getting a lot of golden experience through the laning stage.
Are they going to be able to go on to Kun though?
He does have he has the phase boots, but Battle Hunger to slow him down, goes for the Sprout in the trees, going to try to worm his way out, realizes the TP ain't going to happen. They look to turn it here with the Sunray, runs in, backs off, Limp.
That was sick.
Not calling there, good juke by the Kun, and in fact backup is on his way, so perhaps CC going to overextend again. He will get chopped, they get one dunk. Taking down the track online. Oh, this is going to get ugly. Just summons the Treants. Don't feed those to Limp.
You have to admit that self-sprout into tree eat to dodge the stun was pretty cool.
He's been the most impressive player for the team this series, for sure.
And maybe not checking out Limp's items. I think he bought a Vanguard very recently, like around 6:30, and then when you go for a kill like that, generally you're too worried about escaping, and they maybe didn't see his like massive amount of HP with Vanguard, and hoping Quap could burst him down before.
Sprout in the mid lane as the Coon's gonna set up. There's the stun to interrupt Jesse's escape, and looks like they will end up getting the kill here. Limp gonna TP in. Blink though, so has to just muscle his way in the good old-fashioned way. There is no Icarus items available, and man, that Shuriken doing a lot of work. CC again blinking, narrowly avoiding the call there. He'll get tracked as well. FDL, I mean, this is just not the hero you want to be going on. They're gonna think about a commitment for this. Even testing the Lifestealer and Limp just toying with them. While from the rear, Bounty Hunter stalks his prey. They won't pop out. Engaging on the Limp, gets up. Oh, a little premature there on the dunk. Queen of Pain ult will come out, but CC, again it looks like he'll go down. It's another track kill. Z-Freak, Shuriken, almost enough to finish off Franz, not quite. Hanskin with the fishing on the uphill nuke. Not gonna quite find him, but...
yeah, mana for Rage, I didn't actually check his mana before, but in Rage...
May have not, especially with this build, only as the Bassi.
You gotta be careful about that.
They committed a lot to kill off a Vanguard Axe. Playing with fire for FDL.
That's a cool part about Complexity lineup. He doesn't actually need a rush blink too because of the track. You get a ton of moves from that, plus the 1 point in Battle Hunger very early. So he can just straight chase people down like the Lion that he did earlier, and then once you get one coL, you have 500 plus move speed.
Does what's the build on the off-lane bounty? Just the standard like mech kind of support style build? Do you expect something different with Z-Freak getting more farm priority this game?
I think Greaves is great.
Looks like he's gonna find another kill here top lane as Hanskin rotates in. There's the track. Z-Freak does it essentially solo, just the one nuke from Hanskin. Grab for him, and the 900 gold with the urn and the arcane boots already picked up, so it does seem like the Greaves are quite likely in the making.
They're already having like a lot of trouble killing him. Imagine if he can Greaves off the dust, then have a mech on top to deal with Sunray, and the armor to deal with Lifestealer chopping on people at low HP. Like it's just.
And that's he started in the offlane, but it's a bounty. Like later on, he's still going to be more of a support hero. It's Swindles you'd rather focus, but created could be the continuing story of this game. Is Chessie looking for the shackle mid? Oh, just barely missing. Slightly out of range there on the TP out there. He'll dodge it and now rotate onto the top side of the map where Hanskin is duking it out with CC. Lets the Laguna fly. Finally, CC is going to live through a gank. Barely at that lead, almost solo killing him though. And Z-Freak, yeah. Maybe I spoke prematurely here. Hunting. Find CC though. Just needs more HP. He's going to buy a circlet. Any kind of strength he can cobble together at this point.
It's kind of crazy he doesn't have treads yet.
Yeah, 39 CS. Not even that far down on the Wind Ranger, but just the burst damage is enormous from Complexity.
Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter ruins lanes. Lane Wrecker.
Home Wrecker. Next on his list, maybe. Gonna wreck the Coon's home here.
Wrecking the lane is worse. Step up.
Get your priorities straight, LD. Come on. Well, Complexity definitely have their priorities straight. It's get track gold. Stop Mr. Hala Hala Gatala. We'll rotate now on the Swindle's bottom, but he got off the heel there. Good micro on the Centaur Stomp. Looking to turn this one around. Might even be able to kill these heroes off. Z-Freak there. Cancels the TP. Sand King gonna go down. That's a track kill number 1. Looking for track kill number 2. And Franz is just dying to creep auto attacks here with relatively low armor. Z-Freak make it 2. Power shot secures it. Chessie him from distance, and then Swindles with the pause to fix the settings. Feels like a little salt in the wound.
FDL, no, they're in the gutter right now. And what can turn it around for them? What can turn it around for them? This time they don't have like a timing that is really going to be crucial for them. Maybe Lion Blink, but that's not what they're relying on to win in the game. Phoenix level 6 is going to be okay, but everyone's already pretty farmed. They can deal with it pretty quickly. Queen of Pain, no Orchid in sight. Lifestealer not building a Radiance this game, at least not yet. So I think they're just going to have they bought a Tome yet?
Gonna go for the Infest Bomb. Top lane, Olympus here, oh, the call, just a second late, blinks back, the Visa and Fence out, the coon rotation, looking for Hanskin, they're gonna Laguna that, probably grab the kill there in doing so, the Queen of Pain also comes through, deletes the axe, might get the Hanskin kill as well. DC has the blink, is he gonna commit it? Oh, just barely unable to get that last poke with the auto attack in time. Won't find the second kill. It ends up being a 1-for-1, an NP for an axe. No track kills this time, though. I suppose that's the good news. But as I say that, Z-Freak is camping out. Looks like a courier. He is bounty. And he grabs it.
How annoying is he? Look at his gold. 24 hundo.
I don't think I can't remember the last time I've seen Z-Freak and not been impressed by his individual play.
As we say
As I say that, the Jinx is maybe here. They do get the stun off Sprout. Off the mark. Barely missing. And it looks like he might just waddle away.
This is why you
will they even commit the dust.
This is why you overcommit on sentries and dust. Just carry them both on the same hero.
That's why you do it early when he's more killable. Now Z-Freak is becoming a problem. And even had he died, already spent his gold.
Yep.
Not looking great here. FDL might give up another. The coon trapped out in the tree. Tower shot gonna come through. And it's the Z-Freak show again. Blast is in session. And meanwhile, Pop turn this Visa going in. Do we have an egg? Our first supernova of the game. But Hanskin might just kill it as a support from the low ground Swindles. Consistently missing on those uphill auto attacks, but still not going to matter. They get the kill in the egg anyway. Now they're going to try to chop. Cancels the first one. Connects on the second. Limp. Dunking everyone. 18-5 now in a bounty hunter game. If you are trailing in the kill score, it's going to be a very bleak prognosis. They are trailing heavily at this point.
Chain feed.
It's hard not to chain feed against this draft, to be clear.
Could have just killed the bounty hunter.
Could have not started feeding.
Yeah, that was where, it's usually just, you identify the first that,
like the casual viewers, like, they're like, oh, Merlini's such a great analyst, he's so much knowledge about Dota, and then, like, and they probably envision you with, like, this book of, like, all these little tips and tricks, and then you open to page 5 and it's feedless. Sometimes Dota is not a complicated game.
No, well, they need I said earlier, they have to overcommit to detection to kill the bounty hunter. He's their main issue. Like, once you get track on one hero, can't make a move for like the next 30-40 seconds without a key hero, which is like, for example, CCNC is tracked up right now. Like, how are they going to kill people without her ultimate? They're very far behind, and that's just another minute that is going to be wasted for them. And they're trying to de-war right now, but Franz might die in the process.
I mean, Z-Freak's not even going to let them do that for free. As he moves in, throwing out the offensive right. It's a one-man wrecking crew. Actually has 4 heroes backing him up, but might start it off on the right foot. And with that complexity, gonna muscle up top lane. They take the tier 1. Now they're gonna look for a tier 2. And it doesn't seem FDL will be defending this one, Ben.
Bounty Hunter is the key of their problems. He's like their eyes. He places the wards. He's their bank. He is their move speed. Like, he provides so much for their team right now that
this is like an all-in team fight brewing now.
There they go.
Sand Kane moving, but they get the jump on Franz, and he won't get off the egg there. So with that, in a lot of trouble. Visa trying to work on the backlines of Swindle. Can he finish the jump? No! TC whip in the air. Can they finally kill at least in a chance? They will, but Track Gold is gonna pile in from here on out. Visa now 2 heroes. Shackly been fighting the coon in the trees. 5 heroes dead. Honestly, I don't know if it matters how they execute that fight, but not the execution they were looking for.
See, that happened because they had the track on Phoenix. He was just able to blink in on him and kill him, and it's nighttime, so Phoenix doesn't really have a good idea of what's going on at that point too.
Make it stop, Ben.
Make it stop.
This is ugly.
Just call it.
And they will. They call it. This was ugly. This was brutal, and
Better luck in the lower bracket.
And frankly, I hope there aren't any children watching. But it's over now. FDL will drop down to the lower bracket in the double elimination best of 3 qualifiers here. Phase 2, only 4 teams in it, so FDL, they'll have a chance of redemption. They'll be playing the loser of our next match, which is DC taking on Shazam. But they just looked outclassed this series.
Plexy's level, it's all 11 all around. How even? How evenly
I mean,
distributed?
I said even farm distribution, but I was not expected to be that even.